So many real estate brokerages with thousands of transactions and hundreds of real estate agents have closed up shop and joined eXp Realty. In fact, this month alone, 4 independent real estate brokerages have joined us here at the Agent First Group powered by eXp Realty. Now that's partly because of our done-for-you lead generation, the amount of video marketing that we do for our agents, and the leadership opportunities where we build out their passive income streams at no cost. Now, to be clear, that's all exclusive to the Agent First Group. What I want to talk about in this video is eXp Realty as a whole. Why are so many independent real estate brokerages joining eXp Realty? Let's explore those top reasons because there's so much insight that can be learned from these real estate brokerages that are walking away from so much money, some of them into the millions, to be able to join eXp Realty. So let's get right into it. One major reason that independent real estate brokerages are joining eXp Realty is because it's less expensive to operate within eXp Realty. When you start a real estate brokerage, every expense is on you. It doesn't matter what type of expense that is. And while you may be able to open up your doors initially, regardless if you're an independent real estate brokerage or part of a franchise system, it's actually the ongoing expenses that get you, because every single expense is yours. You're talking about leasing, you're talking about training, you're talking about technology, you're talking about compliance. Every single expense is hitting your desk. So as an independent real estate brokerage, if you're not successful in generating more transactions or increasing the sales volume of those transactions, you're in trouble because you won't have money left over to fund your growth. And on top of that, be able to offer a competitive compensation package for any real estate agent that you're trying to recruit. So what many independent real estate brokerages have found out is that they actually make more money as part of eXp Realty versus staying as an independent real estate brokerage, because now they don't have the overhead of compliance. They don't have the overhead of technology. They don't have the overhead of training. All of that can be outsourced to the eXp Realty network. So now former independent real estate brokers can actually fund that growth with more time and more money. So now they are able to focus more on the business development arm. That's really one of the reasons that we've been so successful in partnering up with these former brokers. And that's truly one of the reasons that so many brokers partner up with us at the Agent First Group, because when they enter our network, we're able to launch all of their paid ads for them. We're able to help do their video marketing. We're also able to equip all of the real estate agents to tap into their sphere of influence organically. Now, the second reason that so many independent real estate brokerages are joining eXp Realty in record numbers is because of the reduced risk and liability. So not only is an independent broker responsible for everything financially, but they're also responsible for everything from a liability perspective. So we're talking about compliance. We're talking about being licensed where you're doing business. We're talking about being paid up with all of the fees and all of the dues that are required to operate as an independent real estate broker. And the most important part is not only are you responsible for you as a person, but you're responsible for every single real estate agent under you. So if they make a mistake, it's your real estate broker license on the line and it's your entire business on the line. So being responsible for oneself, that's one thing. But we're talking about something different. We're talking about having a brokerage where you're bringing on 5 agents, 10 agents, 100 agents, 1,000 agents. Well, that's a lot of opportunities to get things wrong. And if all that liability comes to you, not only is it going to be costly at that point in time, but it can jeopardize your entire operation. And what many real estate brokerages have come to find out is that that huge liability, that's not worth the amount of return that they're generating. Because by joining eXp Realty, that independent broker is able to outsource some of that risk and liability. So one is able to focus more on the core business of selling real estate and allow the transaction team to do their thing, allow the broker team to do their thing, allow compliance officers to do their thing. That's their job, that's their responsibility, and that's their role. So when something changes from a real estate commission standpoint, it's now eXp Realty's responsibility to know what it is that's changing and also educate the rest of the real estate agents. And if something were to come back from negligence from one of your real estate agents, it's actually not fully on you any longer. Now, don't mishear me. This isn't permission to do whatever the heck you want. You still want to operate within the rules and regulations of real estate. Now, before we get to reason number 3, where are my manners? Allow me to welcome you to my YouTube channel. My name is Jaime Resendiz, and I help real estate professionals exponentially grow their business through actionable content. And I'm on a mission to help reduce the over 80% failure rate for real estate agents. So if you can hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, that's going to really help us out. Now, the third reason that so many real estate brokerages are joining eXp Realty is actually one that continues to be misinterpreted, which is the ability to keep your brand. Even to this day, some real estate brokers are sold on eXp but are refusing to move over because of the brand that they've created. Well, little do they know, but they can actually keep their brand that they have at the moment. In most states, the only thing that needs to change when it comes to a branding perspective is adding powered by eXp Realty or brokered by eXp Realty at the end of the brand, at the end of the name. And what we have found from the brokers that have joined us is that their clients had no earthly idea that a switch was even made. So that one element alone has been huge for so many real estate brokers of being able to keep their brand, because historically some other big box brokerages haven't been that accommodating. And the fourth reason is a world-class training for real estate agents. Independent real estate brokers understand the importance of effective training. It's the difference between having 100 agents that do 12 transactions versus having 12 agents that do 100 transactions. Now, the issue that independent real estate brokers face is having to recruit so many real estate agents, having to onboard them, and having to train them into the business, or if they're already into the business, helping them get from where they're at now to that next level. And presently, how that problem is solved is by the broker himself or herself training every single agent personally, or leaning on top producer to help them do the training in addition for some additional commission or a piece of the action, aka equity. And the third way is by hiring a trainer that'll be there full time, or a trainer that'll come in monthly or quarterly. Now, all three of those methods of helping train real estate agents, those are valid. Those work to a certain extent, but unfortunately, most independent brokers have to resort to the fourth method, which is doing nothing at all, which is being so overwhelmed by the business that each agent has to go and seek training on their own dime, on their own time, and just trying to fend for themselves. In fact, that's why my software company, Agently, is doing so well. We have what's called Agently for Teams, where we not only onboard agents for the brokers, but also teach them, train them, and help them get into production as quickly as possible. And all of this is leveraging artificial intelligence that introduces strategies that the top 1% of agents use day in and day out and make it accessible to every single real estate agent that onboards with that brokerage. Which is another reason why we at the Agent First Group are able to onboard brokers and team leaders incredibly fast, because everybody that partners with us has access to Agently at no cost to them. But I digress. From a training perspective, eXp Realty as a brokerage cannot be beat, where every single agent has access to over 80 hours of live training. And this training is being conducted by top tier agents. And the fifth reason that independent real estate brokerages are joining eXp Realty is because of the support. At this point, I've spoken to over 1,500 agents on a one-to-one level about eXp Realty. And the number one reason that those agents are even speaking to me about joining eXp Realty and partnering with us here at the Agent First Group is because they don't feel supported in their present brokerage. Now, if you're currently an independent real estate broker and are thinking about joining eXp Realty, or heck, even if you're not thinking about joining eXp Realty, I want this to be a takeaway for you. Agents are leaving your brokerage because they don't feel supported. They can get over the training. They can get over the technology. They can even get over the terrible commission splits that you may or may not be offering them. But the support is something that they can't get over. And I get it. Everybody is pressing for your time and your money as an independent real estate broker. But if an agent calls and they don't get a response, or they don't get an email back, or they don't get a text back, then they're going to start thinking about, I wonder what this brokerage can do for me, because I really needed some help at this point in time, but my broker wasn't there, so I lost that transaction. And while that might not be a fair characterization of how much you care or don't care about the agents, that's the reality for a lot of them. So the reason that so many real estate brokerages end up joining is because now they have somebody else to help them support the rest of the real estate agents. They can now count on the 1,400 plus staffers at eXp Realty. they can now count on other eXp Realty sponsors already part of eXp. Just here in our Agent First group, we added another layer of support for all of our agents. We have an ambassador program where top tier agents that join our organization are required to help other agents onboard and also get into production, which does mean being available for other agents when questions come up, when certain situations that they may not be experienced to handle present themselves. In fact, one of the agents that we support on a one-to-one level, just in the last year alone, has logged in over 50 hours of Zoom calls with us. And yes, of course, within that time frame has cleared well beyond 6 figures. And based off of the contracts already lined up for next year, he's well on his way to 7 figures. Now, the sixth reason that so many real estate brokers are joining eXp Realty is a reason that you probably already guessed, and that's because they make more money. Real estate brokers will not make the change just for the sake of making it. That doesn't make sense. That is illogical. But at eXp, they find a commission structure that not only works for them as now team leaders, but also works for all of their real estate agents. And on top of that, those same brokers are able to scale their business much faster under the eXp Realty network. Currently, independent brokers are making all the money on the top producers and are losing a lot of money on the rest non-producing agents. So even if they wanted to give those high-producing agents a huge bonus or a huge perk, a much reduced commission, they're not able to, or else the lights would go out because they don't have money to pay for it. So brokers are left with trying to solve the problem with adding as many agents as possible to their brokerage and letting the numbers just kind of shake out, which most of the time means they'll have to go and pay for expensive recruiters that might bring them 5 agents in 1 year. But what independent brokers have found out at eXp Realty is that it works completely different. When a brokerage comes over, they create a team within eXp Realty. And the team members are now sponsored by that former broker who is now the team leader. And the production of those agents will continue to fund that now team leader through the commission splits. But in addition to that, and here's the difference, that same production is also being rewarded to that team leader from the company side through revenue share. So when a transaction closes, not only is the team member sharing a commission split with the team leader, but a portion that goes to eXp Realty, the company, is shared to that team leader through revenue share. Now, I'll link a video that explains this revenue share model in detail right up here for your review. Now, the reason that real estate brokerages join is not because of the revenue share of their team members that they already have already, is because of the potential for more revenue share, where those same team members are able to sponsor other agents and they too generate revenue share. So from a team leader perspective now, you have a lot of other agents that are aligned with you in the sense of helping you recruit other agents into your team, into the brokerage as well. So you as an independent broker may be excellent at recruiting agents and you've gotten to 25 agents, to 50 agents, to 100 agents. That's awesome. That's excellent. However, can you imagine that those same 25, 50, and 100 agents can turn right around and sponsor other agents? And that you reap that reward as well. Well, that's what revenue share is, and that can multiply 7 times over. Now, the 7th reason is a major one, and that is healthcare. 100% of independent real estate brokerages cannot afford healthcare for their real estate agents, and 99% can't even afford to give a discounted healthcare option. But truly, to be fair, healthcare has been a hot topic not only for the real estate industry, but for the entire country. The access to affordable healthcare has been so heavily politicized that every single person runs on this platform. But truly, why this topic is even more important in real estate is because a lot of agents are doing part-time agent work while they're working full-time at a place that provides healthcare. So while many real estate agents might be quite successful as a real estate agent, they still are not able to let go of that corporate job because of that healthcare. So independent brokers that have part-time agents in that specific situation are never going to be able to fully compete and get them into a full-time status because they're not able to provide affordable healthcare accessible to their real estate agents, which makes healthcare one of the big reasons that so many independent brokerages are moving their entire brokerage over to eXp to be able to provide that for their agents. Take me as an example. I have knees of a 90-year-old. I just have some terrible knees that require surgery. And thanks to the healthcare that I have here at eXp Realty, I'm able to have surgeries, physical therapy, and everything necessary to keep my knees at least functional. The next reason that so many real estate brokerages are moving to eXp Realty is the technology. Real estate technology is evolving so rapidly, almost so fast that one can't keep track of it. But what we do know is with real estate technology adopted in the right way, real estate agents are able to save time and make more money. Technology has changed the game so much that so many more real estate agents are able to have 200, 300, 400 transactions with minimal help from other real estate agents. Now more than ever, agents are able to leverage the lead acquisition, the conversion, and the scaling of their real estate business thanks to real estate technology. Now, the challenges for most independent state brokerages is finding this real estate technology, learning what it actually does, contracting it, aka getting into contracts, those expensive contracts that we're all too familiar with, integrating it into the real estate brokerage, and training real estate agents to adopt that real estate technology. Tech is something that I'm very passionate about, especially in the real estate niche. There's a reason that I co-founded Agently, because I believe in leveraging technology to help every single real estate agent in the market. In fact, our group and our companies have leaned in so much in the technology space that we were recently invited to the IOI Summit, where top real estate entrepreneurs and top real estate brokerages meet to find the new up-and-coming technology. And we were, of course, one of the presenters and one of the sponsors for the entire event. But with all that being said, this is really one of the biggest reasons that so many real estate brokerages end up joining eXp Realty because of its powerful tech deck. Having access to KV Core, eXp Enterprise, eXp Workplace, SkySoap, and so many other tech platforms is very powerful and enables every single real estate agent to do more. Now, as mentioned earlier, getting access to some of this software and technology is possible. There are some third-party vendors that work with eXp and other real estate brokerages. However, the cost to be associated to all of this technology is very cost prohibitive. It costs thousands of dollars. But I'm not even worried too much about the cost. I'm more worried about the adoption. Are the real estate agents that are being brought on actually going to use that technology? Well, having the experience from a sizable real estate team and also working with over 10,000 agents on the Agently platform alone, I can tell you that adoption is incredibly challenging. Which leads us to the ninth reason, which is retention. Over 80% of real estate agents will fail in their first 3 years. Now that stat is incredibly depressing. Unfortunately, it is true. The attrition in real estate is just dismal. So real estate brokers, more than anybody, have to work incredibly hard for retention. So brokers have a very important decision to make. Do I train in order to retain, or do I not train and they're just going to leave? Because think about what happens from a real estate broker perspective. You have to recruit as many real estate agents as possible. It just needs to happen in order to stay in business. But what ends up happening is, as a real estate broker trains and develops and really helps form an agent to be a very successful real estate agent, what happens most of the time? Well, they ask for a better commission split that you might not have the margins on. And if they can't make more money in the system that you've created, well, they're going to go find another real estate brokerage that can give them that money. But on the flip side, if real estate brokers don't train, well, you have to continue recruiting as much as possible, because we know that if you're not training those real estate agents, they're not going to be successful, and they're also going to be leaving at record pace. So it's pretty psychotic if you think about it. Even if you're incredibly successful at developing agents, they're going to leave. And if you're not successful at developing agents, well, they're out of business or they're going to leave anyway. Well, at eXp Realty, the reason that you don't hear about major real estate teams leaving eXp Realty is because of the financial model. eXp's retention rate is so incredibly high because of the way that it's structured. At eXp, there's a highly competitive commission structure that allows for former real estate brokers, which are now team leaders under the eXp network, to recruit agents and give them some favorable splits. But the splits alone will not do it, or else every transaction shop in the country would be thriving right now. It's the additional two major revenue streams here at eXp, such as the stock awards and the revenue share. Those two additional revenue streams for every single real estate agent increase their level of wealth. And when you do that, you're increasing the retention rate, because as real estate agents close transactions, keep in mind that's something that every single real estate agent is doing already, closing transactions. They're earning equity. Agents earn stock, aka equity, the moment that they close their first transaction, when an agent that they sponsor closes their first transaction, when they go on to cap at eXp. When they achieve a certain milestone, aka the ICOM program, the entire cap that they paid into the brokerage gets returned back to them in the form of equity. And the fifth way is by agents purchasing stock at a 10% discount using the commission that they've earned. So you can imagine that all of the agents that were earning stock back when the stock was in the $1s, $2s, $3s, $4, $5, now fast forward to today, they're sitting on a pile of cash. And when it comes to revenue share, the more agents that they sponsor and the more agents that the sponsored agents go on to sponsor, the higher the revenue share. Now, I can't get too specific in this particular department because I don't want to make any financial claims. But what I can tell you is that there's quite a few real estate agents that are making six figures in passive income via revenue share, not in a year, but in a month. So for many agents, especially former brokers that went on to form a team at eXp Realty, it's financially irresponsible for them to leave eXp Realty because they'd be walking away from quite a bit of stock and also quite a bit of passive revenue. So there's not a lot of real estate agents or brokers that are going to do that. And nor should they. Again, that would be financially irresponsible. But that's, again, why eXp has some of the highest retention in the industry. Now, the 10th reason is quite simple, and that's collaboration. Most independent real estate brokers operate on an island, and it's not by choice many times. Many times it's because of the resources. You just can't afford going to these masterminds, going to these events, and developing. In some cases, it's the structure of the industry, where other brokers in your neck of the woods just aren't going to be as free with their information because they recognize that there is competition. I don't care who tells you, hey, there's enough for everybody. Statistically, that is not true. There's 7 million residential sales yearly, and there's 2 million real estate licenses out there. Now, I understand that not all of them are active. However, even if half of them are active, that's a 7-to-1 ratio. So there is no statistic out there. There's no possible way for there to be enough for everybody. That just doesn't exist. So let's stop sugarcoating it. Competition is real. But with that being said, it does not mean that you can't collaborate. And unfortunately, if you're an independent real estate broker, oftentimes you're limited in the amount of collaboration that you can offer to your top agents. Because unless you're willing to bring in a top tier real estate trainer that will come in every quarter, every month, every week to train up the team, then you're limited. You're limited to the highest producer in the office, or you're limited to your skill set. Now, that's not always a bad thing, and I'm not trying to say this in a derogatory way, but just recognizing that every single brokerage is structured differently. Take our Agent First group as an example. Our agents get all of the support, all of the training, all of the collaboration every single day in our group. And we don't charge them anything for it. They have our video marketing, they have our lead generation services, they have everything possible, our ambassadorship program, everything. But outside of our network, the people that are not part of our Agent First group, they have to pay. And they have to pay thousands of dollars every single month to be a part of this. So as you already know, not every brokerage, not every group, not every team is the same value to their real estate agents. Now, the difference here at eXp is that eXp agents are notorious for collaboration. You have top producers in the entire country sharing all of their insider secrets to other eXp Realty agents. Now, why is that the case? Well, one major reason is because we're all attached to eXp Realty, and that means that we're all attached to that EXPI stock. Now, I'll give you another example of how collaboration works here at eXp Realty. I don't just have to talk about it in an abstract way. A few months ago, my good friend George, who was a former #1 Keller Williams agent across the entire system, invited me to his event. And his event was in Orlando, and I'm based in Dallas. So I flew to Orlando and stayed for the 2 full days that he had his summit. And I actually did him a favor of getting on stage and doing an hour presentation on YouTube. And I shared with his 300 agents how to dominate on YouTube, how to generate buyers, how to generate sellers, and including how to recruit real estate agents through YouTube. Now here's the catch and where the collaboration comes into play. I paid for my own flight, I paid for my own meals, I paid for my own lodging, and I didn't even pitch a single thing while I was on stage. And some would say that I even created my own competition because every single agent that was at the event was not part of my revenue share group. So the more successful that their real estate agents are from the recruitment side of other real estate agents, well, that means that there's less agents available for me to recruit. And while I recognize that by definition, that is competition, I still choose to collaborate and help other real estate agents that at some point may be able to help me. And even if they don't, that's okay. There's that abundance mindset. Now, number 11, that's a doozy. I need to give a very strong disclaimer here. If you're a real estate broker, I don't want you to take offense to this, but this is really how I see the real estate industry going. And that reason that so many real estate brokers are joining eXp Realty is because of consolidation. So many real estate brokerages are consolidating for a multitude of reasons. You have so many baby boomers retiring, so that book of business that they've built over the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, well, it has to go somewhere. You have technology disruption to the entire industry. You have so much venture capital going into a disruptive technology that is trying to put us real estate agents out of business. You have commission compression, which means that there's less revenue for a lot of independent brokerages to operate. In fact, that's actually not limited just to the independent real estate brokerages, that's across the industry. So in any mature market, it doesn't matter what market we're talking about, consolidation is going to happen. Think about phone service providers, think about hotels, think about rental companies. There's this consolidation of the entire market. So now more than ever, as the real estate market is transitioning away from that bull market that it's been on, well, you're going to see a lot more independent brokerages join the big box brokerages. So while I do wish nothing but the best for independent real estate brokerages, I do recognize that there are some strong headwinds ahead. But of course, not all of this is negative. I don't want to paint that picture either. There's a lot of opportunity in real estate. It doesn't matter what real estate market we're in. So I do want to cover a huge opportunity, and I do want to cover the 12th reason that so many real estate brokerages are joining eXp Realty. And one of those reasons is the Agent First Group. I alluded to it earlier. This month alone, we've had 4 independent real estate brokerages partner up with us. So many real estate brokerages are partnering up with us here at the Agent First Group powered by eXp Realty for its strong community. The strong community that we provide day in and day out. It doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter who you are, you will get support, you will get training, and you will grow as a real estate agent and as a person. Real estate brokerages that partner up with us truly find value in the group coaching that we do for all of their real estate agents, where we're able to bring their real estate agents that they already have into our system and get them into production as quickly as possible, but also help the agents that they bring on into eXp and the Agent First Group and get them into production as quickly as possible. We also do one-on-one coaching, mostly spearheaded by myself and some key ambassadors that I've entrusted with this responsibility because it's a leadership opportunity for every single agent that joins. In this setting, we're able to help brand new agents get their first transaction within a matter of days. And it's this same setting that we're able to help agents that are doing 50 transactions, 75 transactions, 100 transactions to double their production with the acquisition, the conversion, and scaling that we share with them. So every single real estate brokerage that joins us here at the Agent First Group is essentially bolting on a business development arm where we personally take care of the recruitment, the onboarding, the training, the support, and the retention so the real estate broker can focus on other parts of the business that they want to improve on. So if you're an independent real estate broker that's considering eXp Realty, or better yet, if you've never thought about eXp Realty in your life until this video, I invite you to book a call. We'll review your specific situation and run your numbers discreetly to see if eXp Realty would be a right fit for you.